Yes, yes.
Okay. So today we first understand about the tax procedure. Now, tax is a very complicated thing in terms of the SAP domain. Now, what we as a material management consultant, we need not to be expert on the taxes, but we need to know what are the taxes input we are giving in system and what are the implications on those taxes and where it actually considered because most of the taxes is considered under FICO module, under FICO module because they are the authorized person to input and the taxes and all those. But as a like sales and distribution management, sales and distribution consultant, retail management consultant, they also must know how these tax procedures is getting configured in the system, or maybe what is the impact of the system, how it is configured, and how it is showing in the system and all that. So if you go, if I will go to one by one, let's go to first. I'll open the system. So we'll check one after another how it is basically. What are the areas we get the taxes? If this message is coming, this is not for you, so you don't worry. I have asked the server people. It is for their server expiration. So because your server is valid up to 19th August 2020. Okay, fine. So first we'll go to let's go to MM and tell me one material number, Prashant. Any material number.
11815. PR25.
Okay, so I have opened one retail master. Now here, if you see tax indicator for material. Now here there are four options are there: taxable under GST, non-taxable GST, GST exempted, accessible with GST. So, so there is a material. When we go to the processes, as per the process, if you see here, now can you see this picture flow chart actually?
Yes, yes.
Yes, yes.
Okay. So here, if you see tax, this is the company tax payable to the tax authority. Right? Company is a tax payable authority and it is paying to the tax authority. Now, company they are having two things. One is the material value plus taxes, material value plus taxes. So one is when they are buying from the vendor, material supplier of the vendor, and when they are selling to the customer. So in the both the time there are taxes implications are there. If you see here, both the time there are taxes implications are there. When they are selling to the customer, there is a taxes, and when they are buying, there is a right. Now, let's take an example. When we are buying items from the market, there is a certain item there is a GST. If you buy electronics item, if you buy any other expensive item, there is a GST already. So that means what you are paying a taxes, procurement tax. So it is as of India, it is the name of GST, right? So we discuss on those more. Now that is one of the procurement. When you are procuring the item, you are paying tax. Now when you are selling item, so for example, if you are a seller and if you are selling some item, so you are also paying the taxes to your customer. So for the sale purpose also you are paying. Now if you have observed that some of the shops it has been written that we are the composite GST partner, we don't pay taxes. So composite GST partner means what? Actually, they are paying taxes for the seller and they are paying taxes for the buyer in both the way. So that is what in case of you are paying taxes for them, they means you need not to as an individual when you are buying from them. So you need not to if you don't if you don't pay any taxes, their GST number is sufficient to show you that they are the composite tax owner, so they are not liable to pay taxes. So here in these cases, what we do in material management day-to-day life, we are paying taxes for the vendor and we are paying taxes for the customer. Right. So paying taxes for the vendor means paying vendor is asking for certain taxes. So that is same the customer also because your customer may be a vendor, right? That is possible. So that is what the standard taxes is. Now, when I go to the material master, now here is the tax indicator for material. Now, here are the options are there tax indicator. So, whether it is taxable, whether it is non-taxable, in zero that is taxable under GST, non-taxable, GST exempted. Like this. So, automatically it will be shown in the system what is the taxable implication. If you go here, this is the taxable implications. If you check here, tax indicator for material. Now, if I go to slash NME23, now this is a material. This is a material, right? Now, this material, you have created one purchase order for this material, right? Now, here, if you see, we are in the condition. So, here, if you see, net value including inclusion of tax. Now here tax actually has no implication because we are not any taxations. No taxation has been calculated here. There are no taxation has been calculated because we have not maintained any data for taxations. So if we maintain a data for the taxation, automatically tax calculations will come. As in the PO purchase order, already I told some of the companies they are maintaining like this purchasing price, cash discount, freight, taxes, all these they are maintaining. Some of the companies they are not maintaining all the conditions. So here in this, if you see, there are two conditions they are maintained. One condition is your gross price, another condition is your cash discount. So one condition you can see here is gross price. PP00 and SKTO is cash discount. So if you see here, there are many other conditions you can maintain here, like freight you can maintain here. Freight charges. So if you are paying a freight charges to the vendor, that we can maintain here. Now if you are paying taxes, that we can maintain here. If you are getting the discount, that you can maintain here. Like as discount it has been mentioned, any other discount the vendor is giving, that you can mention. So that what happened when you are sending a purchase order, we are creating a purchase order, you will be able to know that what is the actual value of that material. It may help you to create a budget in the sometimes why it is required. As already I told earlier in the previous classes But you are creating a PO now, and this PO will be so item will be delivered in the month of September. So if my item will be delivered in the month of September, so what happened? April, May, June is the first quarter. July, August, September is the second quarter. Now, if in case this is September, now if in case this is in the month of October, then it is coming in the third quarter. So in the third quarter, you should have a provision that the second quarter I am getting an item with this much of the yes, so that this much of my taxes, this much of my discount, whatever some paid, some rebates, all those will be calculations. Because in industry generally they create a budget for the uh, procurement for quarterly. That means for April, May, June they will select a budget on the month of March. That for this quarter we will have this much of. Now whatever the PPO purchase order you have raised in these 3 months, April, May, June, that maybe April's item may be available in June, May item may be available in July, and June item may be available in August because your timeline for the product delivery is 2 months. That is well understood. You are having a contract or agreement with your vendor that they will supply the material in April. That is so. But when you are not getting the item in the same quarter, but you have to make a provision of that this much of item I got it and this is my cost of this. So all those areas here, if you see, there are here we have not mentioned the taxes because as already I told we are not mentioning. Now this is header data. So header data there will be no communications. See here we are maintaining tax code. Now tax code for which country that will be maintained. So tax code for which country that will be maintained here. This is for India, so that will be to maintain there, to maintain here. Now this is one we have talked about, spoken about this in the process of PPO. Now in Material Master, I told you that here we are maintaining the tax code. In PPO here we are maintaining the tax code. So there are many areas we are maintaining the tax. Now if I go to a vendor, slash in the is 90301 is your vendor. That means is your business partner. Yes, excellent. Now, person purchase. Right. Now, see, vendor tax data, these are all blank. Tax type. So, all these data are blank. Tax base. Now, these data actually maintained by the finance people. So, we may not to be worried. But in interview, generally, they ask why is the tax data maintained. So, you must be knowing that where is the tax data maintained because these tabs you need to remove. As already I told in the previous classes also, in any of the processes, they generally in the interview they ask where the data is coming. So you have to know if the data is coming from material master, pattern master, condition master, where it is coming, which tab it is coming, which tab it is appearing, all those things. So it is like more of you check it, more of you see it vividly, more of you use it, then only you will be able to remember that from this data, like tax for material. Now tax for material is used in the material master. Where in the purchasing. Now that is what in the interview what they are going to ask material master where we maintain the tax. So that you have to tell in the purchasing fee of the material master we mention tax for material. Like this. So these are the things generally they are going to ask in the interview. Now, as already I told, actually this process like you have 11,000 material in your company where you are implementing material management in SAP S4 HANA. They are having 11,000 material. Now, are you going to enter one data in each and every? No, it will be data migration. It will be on the data migration. But as a consultant, you must know which field, which table this data is maintained. That is what they want to know. That's all. You need not to do anything. Maybe when the data migration will happen, you have to prepare one Excel, you have to write the SAP table name and the legacy table name of your current software. For example, the company is using XYZ software. So in that XYZ software, what is the tax field? And in the SAP, what is the tax? That you have to write in Excel, you have to give the same to the migration team. Migration team will create a develop some program and they will migrate it. You have to verify that. That is the process. But you have to know that which table, which field, all those things as a consultant. Now, as I already told, as a consultant, it is not required that every time we have to configure everything. Certain things to configure, certain things to keep, certain things to delete, certain things to copy. Now, as Shubhankar was asked one day, how I will know which to keep, which to edit, which to delete, which to copy, that we will know by experiences. Because there is no school like that, I can tell you in the first school. So automatically in our training also in last 1.5 months, you could see that many things were copied, many things were created new. So in the project also, many things we are going to create and many things we are going to copy. So this is the vendor tax data where we are maintaining that tax of the vendor. So this will be maintained by the finance and investment. Right now, so two areas we have checked as the three areas. One is the material, another is the vendor. Right, this area. So and in the PO, what I have shown is where we are maintaining. Now question is, what are the tax data we are generally maintaining in the system and how it is. Now in the system as already I told it is maintained by the pico files. But you will understand certain things about that. So I'll open the sheet. Now here if you see condition type, now already when we have created pricing, we have created some conditions also. We have seen some conditions. So here also a lot of conditions have already been created. We need not to create any condition. That is not our task. We need to understand what are the conditions available, which condition is belongs to me or which I need. I will keep that condition. That is my work. Now here if you see conditions, there are many conditions here we mentioned. Right? Now before going to the conditions, I'll go to SPRO reference ING. financial accounting, legal settings, tax on sales and purchase, basic settings, right? Now here, before basic settings, how these people are going to do this. Now here, before going on, I'll go to the assigned country of the region to calculation. Now here, if you see, this is the country of the region. Now, if I go to India, IN, so if I go to IN, this is IN. So there are already some tax procedures already created by guys. Now another smart guy has created another IND, although it is not allowed actually because it is a training system. That is the reason people are created to India. But otherwise, in the standard SAP, every country is single. And let me ask you one question. In India, GST rates are same for all throughout the country, right? Shubhankar?
Yes.
So it is like, for example, if a color television GST is, let's take an example, color television GST is 15%. I don't know exact amount, exact percentage, but I've given an example. So it is 15% in Delhi, 15% in Kolkata, 15% in Gujarat, and 15% in Kerala,
Right.
right? So there is no, so obviously one tax procedure will be applicable. So company, for example, whoever company is selling TV in India, their GST is 15%. So they
Yeah.
cannot create a own tax procedure for the same,
Right.
right? Just a minute. Okay, so in for if one single country there is only one tax procedure is applicable. So we cannot create in the when the standard system when you are working on a project, there will be only a single tax procedure will be applicable for a country. So that is for whatever the sales tax and purchase tax, whatever that finance guy will maintain, and that will be applicable. So here, if you see one tax procedure is applicable. Now this is the tax procedure. If I go to IN tax, now if I'll go to here, now check calculation procedures, define procedures. So IN tax, IN tax. Now this is the tax on sales and purchase for A. So I'll go to control data. Now here if you see, that is whatever the pricing we have understood the same here also condition type. Now SGST, CGST and ITS. So this is the tax on sales and purchase. This is the procedures have been maintained. Now, if I go, I'm not going on any condition type now. Just I'll show you. Calculations. Now define tax codes for sales and purchase. Country of the region. So if I go to IN, IN. Tax code. No values found. Okay. So if I go to I double N. No. Okay. IND. IND. Now let's see. IND is there. Okay. There are also no value. Here 01, right? Or 02. What is your company code?
Yeah, 24.
Okay. Here 24. So it is actually not maintained as of now. Now here if you see, this is the tax code there. A1 is 5% output based, BT, I0 is input VAT, I1 is input VAT, O1 is output VAT. Like this way, this tax code basically maintained. Now as we just understand, need to know this one, that what is the tax code and how we are maintaining. So this is the way basic calculations and postings. So these tax accounts and although this will be maintained by the finance side. So basic settings, calculations, all those will be maintained by the finance side. But we as an individual, uh, as a retail management consultant, we know about this. So how where this check calculation program as a country every region to calculation history, this is being maintained. Now if I go in the system here, these are all assigned country to tax procedures, different tax code for sales and purchase FTXP. All those things has been mentioned here. And check calculation procedures is OPYZ. So if I go to slash n OPYZ, now condition type. Let's take an example. I am giving an example of condition type in WST. Now, MWST is a common taxes for sales tax SD interfaces. If I go here, MWST. See, this is the tax classification. Condition class is D taxes. Earlier, if you see, if you remember, condition class was D prices. Now it is D taxes. Now here, manual entries, here it is mentioned no limitation, but actually it should maintain as D. Manual entry, it should be given as D. Deem is not possible to proceed manually. Generally, in the tax conditions, we put these changes which can be made. Changes which can be made means in the condition master, in the front end, what are the changes we can do? Now we cannot do any changes in the taxes. That is what we should maintain here as D. Although I am not changing anything because whoever has doing practices let him go or her to do this one. But manual entry basically when we talk about prices, we keep it as A, B, C, whatever. But when we talk about the taxes, we always keep it D. D means not possible to maintain manual. See, for example, when you are implementing your system, let's take an example that you have already entered the tax data is 15%, whatever, XYZ is 15% the tax. Now, if an business user, instead of 15%, if he enter 14% or we enter 18%, there is a tax error will happen. Now, who is going to be responsible for it? To avoid all those things, these are the areas where business users have been restricted not to use those same manual. So here as a super user or consultant, you have to do that and then you have to restrict the system not to use them by for changing of the taxes. So manual entries here actually it should be D, but here they kept it blank. Now procedures as we check the procedures. Tax FU GST India. So if I check here, input tax GST, input tax SGST, input tax IGST, zero input tax. So what is CGST, SGST and IGST? Any idea? CGST, IGST and SGST. What is this? If you see in
Type
particular
of
bill,
GST.
pardon?
Type of GST.
Type, it is type of GST, but it is an acronym, right? So what is the acronym of this? CGST, IGST and SGST. So we have central GST, integrated GST and state GST. Now what is SGST? Let's take an example. I am in Gujarat, you are in Delhi, I am sending on item people. So I will be paying SGST, state GST, right? So in that SGST, there will be, I will pay the GST to Delhi government and Delhi state, right? And in Delhi state, some percentage will go to central, and from me also some percentage will go to central. That is GST, central. And IGST is our integrated GST. Integrated GST means what? Integrated GST means, for example, if if an item is transferring from one state to another state, keeping that central is in the main point. For example, let's take an example. Someone is sending one item for Delhi to Gujarat. right? And another person is sending one item to Delhi to Kolkata. If Delhi to Kolkata they are sending, right? If Delhi to Kolkata they are sending, so that means what Delhi government is going to pay taxes. Delhi state as a going to pay taxes. So that is the state GST. But when the central government means both the parties where they are sending the item and from where they are sending both the parties will pay certain amount to the central government. That is called, and IGST is integrated GST. Integrated GST means what? That means what? For example, if I am sending one item from my state to another state, and then that same item will be uh, just only in the transit, but it will again go to another state. So then it will be an integrated GST for all the three states because that is only a transit. Maybe there will be some changes in that certain amount will be deducted. Certain item to be uploaded. So that will be different to that. So there are three types of GST: GST, IGST, and HGST. Now, when here if you see there are input tax and output tax. It has been given. Now, input tax is what? Input tax is when we are procuring the item, and output tax is when we are selling the item. So, output tax we are giving when we are selling the item, and input tax we are giving when we are procuring. Now, here there are some certain things like it has been given base amount, central GST, state GST, interstate GST, right? So, these have been given. Now, here if you see, this is the country India tax code is A1, procedure is INN tax type is output tax. So here if you see SGST payable is 9%, GST payable is 9%. Now here total is 18%. Tax percentage rate here we are checking. So when we are using this one, this is generally maintained by the people, right? So we want to be worried. So how these tax codes are maintaining, right? So this tax code we will maintain in the system. Let's this is the tax indicator, set tax indicator for material. So if you go to OMKK slash n OMKK, So tax indicator for material. So here you can see all the tax indicator for material has been mentioned. So if IN like taxable under GST, I have already shown in the material master. What are the options are available? Taxable under GST, non-taxable GST, GST exempted, excisable with GST, all these materials. So if you maintain a new entry, so here you will be the country of the region, there will be the material code and the description. Like as you have seen here. Tax indicator for material. Generally, 0 means tax exemption, 1 is taxable, and 2 is 3, 4, like this way. We are generally 0, 1, 2. 0 is non-taxable, 1 is taxable, and 2 is taxable with some percent. Taxation exempt and taxable and taxable with some percent. Generally 0, 1, 2 or 0, 1, 2, 3, these 4 tax codes we are maintaining. So this is the material tax codes. Whatever we want to maintain. Now, set tax indicator for plant. Now, this is plant tax side. So here, if you can see India, 0 is the exempt and 1 is taxable. Both has been there.
What do you mean by exempt?
Exempt means you are exempted from the tax. Means what? You need not to give tax, right? You are getting a exemption limit in your income tax, right? So that is called exempt.
Okay.
OMKL. Maintain for account assignment. So this is exempt and this is taxable. Now here plant tax ID is not maintained. But if it is maintained in the system, then we need to maintain it. Generally, here it is not mentioned. Tax indicator for account assignment. So if you see, India is not there. So if I go, let's go to /n mm02. select views, purchasing tab containing 2510. So one material tax code I have changed. So you can change your all material tax code, right? I have changed 1 to 0 taxable. Okay. So okay, so tax, this is the tax, actually tax procedure. So the configuration is there. So as of now, I am not giving you the configuration. So this is basically to understand what are the areas we need to maintain taxes. So I have already shown you the path and what are the areas you maintain taxes. That's all. So if any questions on the taxation part, you can ask me. No. If I go to financial accounting global settings, tax on sales and purchase, basic settings. Now, as check calculation procedures. So we have to choose one procedures. So tax GST, if I see control data, this is tax GST. These are the condition type. Now India, if I check IN, INN tax. Now what is that INN tax? I need to check. Now this is one given tax INN. In India, tax is new. This somebody has created it. Output tax IGST. So maybe we can alert this one. So okay, no problem. So 18% is the GST that has been given. Output tax A1. That's good. This is okay. Fine. So that is what the tax dispute is all about. Now, if you have any questions on this, we'll do one chapter today. That is, so this I'll share it. Although you may not to do anything much here, because if you change the tax now, it will be difficult. Means it will be changed for everyone in the system those who are practicing. So I will check this thoroughly, and if anything required to be is changed, I'll change it. So you please don't do it. But I am giving you these customizations. Maybe
Yes,
it,
it
it
already.
so it may be required. This is already there.
Yes, yes.
Okay, fine. So no problem. So in these customizations, actually, you need not to do anything. This is optional. You need not to create anything on these customizations, and we should not change because see, there are hundreds of students are practicing in the same system. So one tax code, if anything is changed, so it will change for everyone, and it will be great to throw some error. So we will not do it. For material, as I already have shown, so whatever the material you have created, you just go to MM02 and change the material uh, tax code for material. You can change it. Already, I have shown you how to change it. So you can go to every material and change it. In real time, it all will be through data method. Fine. Now, okay, MMFI integration. I will share along with another document with you in the system. Now, see in the system, if I go to the SAP side, so there are integrations. So module integrations. Question can be asked from the module integration, that is MM with SD, MM with FICO, and MM with EW. Now MM with EWM integrations generally, in general, I'll tell you, in common interview, first will be asked, third will not be asked, because EWM software, EWM in SAP, many companies are not using. And second thing is, many companies are using. See, in the earlier also I told, when any company is implementing SAP, then don't implement all the modules from A to Z. SAP, the S4 HANA business, the S4 HANA, they can implement 10, 12 modules, but they generally don't do it. So for small things, for billing, they will use one billing software. For this delivery, they will use one delivery and shipping software. So as a consultant, what our role is to take the things up to delivery and shipping, and then delivery and shipping, whatever the software is they are using, we have to integrate with that software. That's all. So that automatically, future whatever the processes, it is automatically integrated in the process. So this integration may be done through IDOC or may be done through other system integrations. This will, because all implementations are not for one single module, means all the modules. Now, first we will go to understand about MNP module, right? This is one of the important area, MNP. Now, MNP integration, so inventory management starting with. So MNP integration, there are these areas as control. So if you see, I'll share this document. Chart of accounts, valuation booking code, transaction inventory, account booking, and valuation. Now, valuation class we have understood many times. We have already spoken about valuation class. Valuation class where we are maintaining. Come on, tell me where we are maintaining valuation class. Prashant and Supankar.
In a material master.
Very good. In material master, in which tab? See, this
In
answer is 50%.
accounting.
Accounting. No, this is 75% answer. It's not 100% answer. See, when you told material master, this is 50%. When you told accounting, this is 75%. See, in material master, there are two tabs. One is accounting one and the other is
Accounting one.
yes. So in material master, accounting one, maintain valuation class.
Yes.
Right? So these are going to ask in the interview, I'll tell you. This is see, in every day I am telling these are the questions, because I will share maybe some questions around 300 to 400 questions I will share at the end of the training. But remember one thing, marking up questions ये history नहीं है कि हम रट्टा लेंगे, because you have to go to the SAP system, you have to check that SAP system, and then you have to remember that this data is coming from here, this data we are maintaining here. Then only confidently you can say in the interview. That is what when Shubhankar asked on the first day, I told you need minimum 3 to 4 months, at least minimum 3 to 4 months. Already 1.5 months we have passed, 1 month almost all we have passed. At least we need 3 to 4 months to appear for our first interview. Not less than that. Even if it is more than, it is good. Because जल्दीबाजी में इंटरव्यू एक आध तुम फेल हो जाओगे, खराब लगेगा, will be demoralized. So it is paper, prepare fully on net and then go for match, so that at least you should explain. See, in the first interview or second interview, you will be able to know that I am correct. I am giving this much of answers. मैं अपने initial days में मैं तुमको बताता हूँ what when the interviewer asking 15 questions, out of 15 if you correct at least 12 questions, 10 to 12 questions you are through. You will be selected. Anything less than 10, chances are less. And they are going to ask, these are all fundamental questions. Sometimes tricky scenario based questions they ask, but that is also experience guide. We should not show in your CV that we are experienced. You should show 1 year experience, that's all. Something like that. So here, chart of account. Now this OX18 OB62, this chart of account actually maintained by the guys of finance. Now I'll go to OB62 slash n. Now this company code here, the chart of account will be maintained by the finance. So revenue system got end. System got end. Just a minute, I am not finding this. This is system got hang. This is coming, but system is not coming. That means there is nothing. This from the SAP side. So, now it is version 2x18. Now here we have assigned company code to plant. Now and each company code uses a particular chart of account. This is how SAP knows which chart of account should be used for account detail. So this is one integration. You are assigning company code to a plant. Now in the company code, we are maintaining chart of account. In the company code, we are maintaining a chart of account. That means what? Say for example, your company code is PR20. No, PR24. No. What is your company code? PR02.
Yeah, 24 is not sure.
It is not showing.
So,
It is there. PR24. Okay. So here, if you see, it is assigned to plan 2510. Now it means what? Whatever the chart of accounts there in the PR24. Now if I open another screen, slash NOB 62. Here company code is PR24. Now PR24, this is INT chart of account is already maintained. That means what? This chart of account. So this is one of the integration area, MMFI integration area. This is so here. If we see here, chart of account is one of the integration area. That means when we are assigning plan to company code, and in the company code there is certain chart of account is already there. So this is SAP knows which is the account to be used for account determination. Next is the valuation blocking code. Valuation blocking code, if you go OX14, these are already there in the system. Account determination for valuation areas. So if I go to OX14 slash and OX14, sorry, now here if you see, valuation area is your plant. Now your valuation is 2510. So 2510 is assigned to company code, chart of account is INT, and valuation grouping code is 201. So account determination for value and valuation areas, it is been assigned to this. That means your valuation area is plant. Now plant is assigned to company code, and company code is in the company code. The chart of account is INT maintained and valuation grouping code. So if this account determination is possible in the SAP, then which account determination means for procurement side, what are the accounts you post it? Inventory, where we are going to post it, any procurement, any taxes, where we are going to post it, that will be based on all the accounts you maintain in the particular chart. Next is your valuation control, as already that valuation booking code is active transactions and event fee. So movement type, special stock indicator, value update, quantity update, movement indicator, consumption posting indicator. You cannot modify or add new posting value string because they are standard and maintained by SAP. You can check if posting string compounded with OMWN. So if I go to OMWN, now this is, you can see the movement type, this is transaction event key, this is valuation trades, and this is the account modifier modification. Now I'll give you an example. The valuation class here maintained. Okay, now this OBYC. Now this is OBYC. Now if I go to inventory posting, BSX, chart of account, INT. Now here if you see valuation class, so all your valuation class. So for finished good there is a valuation class, for raw material there is a valuation class, for semi-finished product there is a valuation class. You are maintaining in material master in accounting one. Same valuation class here maintain with the GL account number. So in the chart of account, these valuation classes are maintained in the GL account. So that means what 7920 is the finished goods valuation class. So this is the chart of account 792000. That means all related to finished goods will be posted in the GL account number 792000. So this is an integration between material management and FI. Sometimes they ask, they will not ask, sometimes they ask where we are maintaining. So this when we are going through this chapter, this chapter, this is we need to just go through once open in the system. Here you need not to understand it, not many things, but only you need to integrate, means only you need to visualize how the things are getting connected with other modules. Because these are going to ask you in the interview that MM and FI, where are the integrations? So that you have to tell in this document. So that is what the all screenshot along with the document is there. It is nothing much to understand. Only thing you need to visualize and remember the things where you are maintaining the data. This is just now I have already shown a device. Now this data actually maintained by the FI guys. That's all. You need to just know how they are maintained. That's all. Now, another important point in SAP MM application linked to the process of invoice verification. Vendor account, stock account, GRIN, clearing account, tax account, price difference account, cash discount, and freight clearing account. So BSX, WRX, PRD, SKP, and FR1. This is the invoice verification. We will understand this process in the next class. So invoice verification is after the GR when you do the invoice verification process. That time you do this. So invoice verification, what is vendor account, stock account, GRIR clearing account, tax account, price difference account, cash discount, and freight clearing account. These are the areas where generally there is a integration between MM and FI. So vendor account, if you see vendor account, reconciliation account, already I have shown you reconciliation account where this account will be maintained. So where the reconciliation account maintained, I will go to /n EP. Now if I go to start this one, now here so if you go to vendor for example, if you have maintained FLP or program purchase, but if you go to finance view, like this way, by customer, no, it is not there. See, Prashant, your partner functions is not coming. Please, you need to check this one. So here, reconciliation account, it is there in the vendor account. In the vendor side, reconciliation account is to be maintained by the FI guys. This is the tax account as the tax account. You already I have shown this maintain tax code, country key, tax code procedures, and tax type. B is the input tax, right? So here, if you see input tax GST 15% is already the transaction is FTX, where we are maintaining it. This already I have shown you just before. This is the tax calculation procedures. That's all. So I'll share this document. So I'm sharing two documents. So I've shared two documents. One is the overall MMFI overall disease, and another is MMFI integration part. So this account determination configurations here I am sending. This is not. This is account determination configuration. This will I'll send you next day. Next day when we will.
Got only one document is as a PMM file.
Only one document you got it.
Yes.
Okay. I'll attach another document. No, no, it is loading. It is loading.
Oh, yeah.
It is loading. It will take
Ma'am,
some
whole
because
MM.
it is yes, yes. It is a 22 MB file. Na? So actually, I thought I'll send by mail, but I just dropped here in this because in mail it is possible. Here maybe not that much. Anyway, if you get it fine. Otherwise, I'll drop in mail. Mail में भेज देंगे. Okay.
Yeah, got it, got it.
Okay. So you just download. Otherwise, you will not get it later. So account determinations. Okay, account determinations. Will understand tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll understand account determination process. I'll share this document of account determination tomorrow. And today we'll understand another thing is subcontracting and consignment. This is a little bit change. So this is our area, and questions will be asked. Now here there is a flow chart is there for subcontracting. What is subcontracting basically? Subcontracting, you can say one way outsourcing. Now worldwide, now all the businesses are there is a subcontracting means outsourcing. Even government of India is also doing more about because when you outsource only when you think that your internal resources and your internal infrastructure will incur more cost comparison to the sending to the outside people. Those will be good. Let's take an example. I'm giving one very basic example. You you are doing some work where you will be paid 2,000 rupees per hour by sitting at your home. Right? You have to work for 1 hour, you get 2,000. If you work for 2 hours, you get 4,000. Like this way, you are getting. Now, there is another household work is there, which actually costing is 500 rupees per hour. Now, if you do one work for that 500 rupees, what happened? 2,000 minus 500, that means in fact, because to do that 500 rupees work, you have to drop your 2,000 rupees work because that 500 rupees work will be means will consume some time, half an hour, 1 hour, whatever. So obviously, as an intelligent person, you will choose that no, keep, I will this job I'll transfer to some other people. I'll pay him 500 rupees because I am earning 2,000 rupees in this hour. So ultimately, at the end of the day, I'm earning 1,500 rupees because that job is actually incurring a cost of 500. But if you do that job also, then what happened? You are going to lose maybe instead of 2,000, you are going to get 1,000 rupees or something like that because that job is going to consume some. In automobile industry, let's take an example of automobile industry. If you go to any big brand, except like I'm not talking about all like Ferrari or Mercedes or BMW. I'm not talking about that. But I'm talking about them if you go to Honda or if you go to Hyundai or if you go to Tata or if you go to Maruti, these four brands I know in terms of the examples and all this. So if you go, a lot of their processes they just outsource. They just outsource. Now, do you think that Tata don't have the capacity to produce that one? But then Tata they buy tires of MRF or Goodyear. Now Tata they don't produce a tire, right? Tire manufacturing company is separate. So Tata can produce a tire manufacturing. They are having from small to airline every business Tata is there. But they don't do it. They know that it is not their cup of tea, or maybe good players are there in the industry. So it is better not to invest so much of money and time and infrastructure on those. Instead of that, we'll outsource, we'll buy the tires from the outside and we'll fit in our car. Let's take an example, clutch plate, brake shoes, lights. There are nowadays these halogen and these high beam lights are coming or white color. They this like Honda or Maruti, they don't produce. It is manufactured by some other company. They are just procuring and filling. Some of the coloring part, some of the certain portions of their manufacturing process in automobile industry. I'm giving an example out of it. So many industries are there. Those who are outsourced because if they do on their own premises of all those activities, it will be expensive for them to. For example, if a car of Maruti is having 5 lakh rupees now, if they make it infrastructure on this, so whatever the profit they are going to do in that selling by that car, they will make less profit if they are not outsourced. So that is what everything is outsourced now. Many industrial services are outsourced. In USA, a lot of people are outsourcing, a lot of jobs have been outsourced to India because in India, costs are less. Here, the candidates or the labor costs are cheaper. So, if US people doing some certain things, they have to pay dollars for particular the same half of the amount they are going to get an Indian buy. So they have outsourced a lot of USA's work are outsourced to India. So when we talk about the outsource, it is a one part of subcontract. Now here, if you see in the subcontracting, there are three departments we have mentioned: purchase department, warehouse department. What is the job of the purchase department? Purchase department, if you see, start convert PR to SC subcontracting purchase order. That means what? Purchase requisitions to subcontracting purchase order they have convert. Then warehouse issue raw to subcontract. So what is that raw? So raw is what is subcontracting material. So what happened is issue of subcontracting material to subcontract. Raw material. Then they are issuing to subcontractor. Then subcontractor process the order and send the consumption report to warehouse. So receive material against subcontractor. Warehouse receive the subcontracting receive the material against the subcontracting material. Then they match against the bomb bills of material, and then they create they create an invoice, and the invoice is verified, and they make for payment. If no, then there will be stock adjustment. So there will be stock adjustment or stock. So here, if you see bomb means bills of material. Now, for example, if there is a computer desktop. Now, desktop bills of materials are what? Desktop is monitor, keyboard, motherboard. These are all bills of material. When you buy a desktop, you are not going to buy only motherboard or only keyboard or only monitor. You are going to buy all the four items because computer desktop consists of all four items. So these items is called bills of material. So in day-to-day life in manufacturing sector, in many other sectors, there are bills of materials. So here, if you see subcontracting, so as a warehouse person, he will issue the item. Now let's give an example. Let's give an example. Material X345. This is one material we need to create. Now to create material X345, there is a material 1, material 2, material 3, material 4, material 5. Now we have to pay 10 piece. Material X345 we have to create 10 piece. Now for one piece material 1 we need 2 pieces. For material 2 we need 3 piece. For material 3, we need 1 piece. For material 4, we need 5 piece. And material 5, we need 1 piece. That means what? For material X345 to create one material, we need material 1 2 piece, material 2 3 piece, material 3 1 piece, material 4 5 piece, and material 5 1 piece. So with this, you will create. With this, you will create. With this, you will create 1 piece X345. So now you think of if you have to 10 piece. So material 1. Material 1, how many we need? 20. Material 2, we need 30. Material 3, we need 10. Material 4, we need 50. Material 5, we need 10. Now this from EWM to subcontractor. EWM to subcontractor will say. EWM to subcontractor. Now when subcontractor is sending, let's take an example. This you have given. Now what happened? Subcontractor has given X345 7 material. You ask for 10 material and one material, how many pieces you send, you have already checked, and according to that for 10 material how many required you have sent it, but subcontractor has sent you 7 material of X345. Why? What may be the reason? Tell me. Come on, tell me. It's very common.
Can you repeat the question once again?
What I am asking is, when you have given, you already know, you told your subcontractor that I need to create X345 material 10 pieces, right? And one piece of X345 material to create, you need to give material 1 2 piece, material 2 3 piece, material 3 1 piece, material 4 5 piece, and material 5 1 piece. Right? Did you understand up to this? Right? Prashant, don't keep silent. Please keep on participating.
Yes, yes.
Now you have given EWM to subcontractor. That means warehouse management people are given to subcontractor material 1, material 2, material 3, material 4, material 5. This calculation is right or wrong?
Right.
Right. Now subcontractor has given you only 7 material. Instead of 10, they have given 7 material. Because you have calculated as per the base of 7 material, 10 material, you have given to the subcontractor, but subcontractor has given you 7 material. Right? So what may be the reason? So reason is
It is not available.
no effective piece. So whatever the material 1 20 pieces, material 2 30 pieces, material 3 10 pieces, you have given all those, but some of the pieces are defective. So whatever the available correct pieces are there, with that subcontractor could make only 7 material. That means what? For the defective piece, subcontractor has to adjust the inventory. So he has to return back that this many materials were defective. This many materials are defective.
Okay, got it.
So this is what is up when we talk about the subcontracting processes. When you talk about the subcontracting process, so this is the process where actually so this is the subcontracting process that purchase department start is convert one purchase requisition to subcontracting PO and then issue warehouse to send those material to subcontractor. Subcontractor create the process order and then you send the consumption report that this many have been consumed, this many has been left. Now this receive the material against subcontracting PO. Warehouse will receive the material as a warehouse receive 7 material. So match against bomb. As already I told, match against bomb means bills of material they match it. If there is no matching, then stock will be adjusted like as in this case what I told, there will be some materials are already defective pieces, so they will exclude the defective pieces and with that they will send you the invoice that we have created 7 material and kindly pay for 7 material whatever our subcontracting prices are there as mentioned. So for prerequisite, a material form needs to be created before any subcontracting order can be placed. The bill of material is formally structured, the list of components that make up a product. Subcontracting requisitions. So subcontracting requisition list is the finished material that is to be procured in subcontracting item. Against each subcontracted item, the system copies the material component that will be provided to the vendor from the bill of material. The bill of material refers to the end product that the vendor will deliver. For subcontracting, must maintain the item category L used for some age in the subcontracting in the SAP system. So if I go to the SAP system, let's take an example slash n NE1. This is subcontracting. This is item category. This will be subcontracting. You have to create a purchase requisition. So whenever I am using L, that means it will be considered as subcontracting purchase requisition. Till now, whatever the purchase requisition we have created, we have used standard. Now, if I use L, L means it is subcontracting purchase. Then coming to the part of subcontracting PO. Subcontracting materials are sent to the vendors for processing finished goods. A subcontracting purchase order is placed by converting subcontracting requisition into a purchase order. The system will generate a purchase order number internally. The rates quoted by the vendor for labor charges are mentioned in the purchase order item and maintain the service charges for defaulted to purchase. Now, here at the time of receipt, raw materials of each order item will be determined as already told. Goods receipt items for package SIM card end product supplied by the vendor and goods issue item for SIM card component. The goods receipt will be evaluated, contracted with the value of the SIM card consumed. As already I told, on the basis of valuation, it will be counted. Now, subcontracting invoice. Subcontract invoice will be entered in the system against the purchase order. The vendor will be billed only for items delivered. At the time of invoice receipt, the liability is created against our vendor. The liability created only will be the amount charged by the vendor for processing and does not include the material component. So here, if you see, exclusive PO. Now create a subcontracting purchase order, select a document type or provide a vendor. The item category would be L. Item category will be L. Here if you see here, item category is L. Now click explode BOM button to open the below screen where you provide your components in the subcontract. Components of subcontracted product. If there are any additional charges are required, input them in the condition. So in the conditions tab, we need to input all those charges. Now here, if you go the SAP, let's open. Now here, if you see, See, in the conditions here, we can whatever the subcontracting prices and all the conditions you can put here. I was this is the subcontracting process we will do one of the process we'll do maybe in the tomorrow or day after tomorrow. This I am just giving you this document to read it, and tomorrow we'll do one process of subcontracting. But I'll check whether whatever the material we have created with that material we can create a subcontracting possible or not. We'll check. Right. So tomorrow we'll do one subcontracting process so that you will be more clear on that. Subcontracting things will be asked from the in the interview, subcontracting and on-site.